Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the Mad Music podcast. It's your girl, Mikala. I'm with my lovely co-host, Alma and Dami.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
We have a very, very special guest with us today. I'm going to alley-oop this to Alma so she could dunk it. Alma?
Yes, we have a very special guest. So happy that he is joining us on the show. First timer, my friend Vinny. Met all the way back in 2010 in college, and we have been friends ever since. Vinny always had a good spirit about him, good vibes, good energy. He was always extremely funny and witty and fun to be around. And definitely was one of the positive things about being at USP and during those 4 years. But Vinny loves music, loves to dance. He's very creative. And so I'm just so happy that he took some time out to join us for our part one of our Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month series. So yeah, without further ado, Vinny, welcome.
Yay! Applause.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate the invite, especially for this month. It was the first day that Amma and I met in college that night. And then ever since then, it's been a crazy, wild ride. And I'm so glad to be talking to you guys, especially with music and just vibing and just having a good time today.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
That's what we're going to do. Okay, before we get into all the good stuff with the hook, let's get through these chokeholds. Vinny, you're our guest. What's been choking you? What have you been listening to lately?
So I know today, this month is Asian American Pacific Islander month, but my chokehold isn't really relating to that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Beginning of May, I went and saw Merrily We Roll Along. It's a Broadway show starring Jonathan Groff and Daniel Radcliffe and Lindsay Mendez. And they sang this song. It's called Old Friends. And I mean, that's pretty apropos from the intro. Like, if I connect that with Alma honestly, the song is like the most perfect Broadway song I've ever heard. It's a pretty big statement.
That was to say. What you saying now? You know there's Rent, right?
It's by Stephen Sondheim, and
that makes sense.
yeah, and I think I like the song now in my 30s because it talks about like what it means to be old friends. Not like best friends, not new friends, not good friends, but old friends. And there's like a interesting relationship when you think about old friends. Like sometimes you'll just let mistakes like slip by, or it's almost like time has stopped. And like everything that was going on with your life when you meet them, it's like the good old days.
That's a good point.
Right. And then also regarding the song, it's like if you never really had that connection, like how you can have that connection later on, or losing it at this time. So it was really interesting. Yeah, pretty deep. And I've been looping it so much because of how much it's been, because there's a lot of milestones going on during our time. So it was great.
Nice.
That's good.
Daniel Radcliffe is Harry Potter, right?
Potter. So I got to see Harry Potter.
That's cool.
Having an existential crisis.
I didn't know he was a Broadway, like obviously actor there, but sometimes they're like very specific to certain medium. So I didn't know he was into Broadway, and I didn't know he was a singer either. So kudos to him.
I felt like he's been to other Broadways before too, if I'm not mistaken. He's like a theater or something.
He did an interesting one years ago with a horse.
I think I've heard.
It's called Equus.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can Google that.
Lord Jesus.
Okay. Am I going to regret this Google search?
No.
I don't know. I don't believe you, but okay.
Okay, what about you ladies? What's been choking y'all lately? What have y'all been listening to?
I've been having a rough couple of weeks. I've been struggling. I'm low-key ready to take a sabbatical. So if y'all don't see me for a while, y'all know why. But,
Mhm.
you know, depending on your mood, you know, you have a certain song you want to play, and always think about artists or bands that brings you comfort. And one of them, of course, is the internet. Y'all know I love Sid.
Mhm.
And something about her voice in general just brings me joy and
Yeah.
comfort. And they have like a lot of songs, you know, depending on your mood. You know, they're pretty open about their own issues with mental health. And there's one song from their Hive Mind album called It Gets Better. And you know, that just makes sense, right? The chorus itself, it just keeps repeating. It gets better with time. I hope you know that it gets better with time. So how fitting for the mood I'm feeling right now. But yeah, it's a good song. My chocolate.
Well,
And we pray it gets better with time for sure.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Sometimes you need that encouragement, and good that you've still got that in your soul, your mind to think to listen to something that makes you feel good. So yes. And you know, I love a sabbatical. Whatever you gotta do, you gotta do. Sheesh.
Listen, okay, look. I'm
What
going
makes
these
sense
like
for
days,
you?
like, child.
You know, I love to run away.
Run away.
Okay, this year I might have to do the Mikala.
Run away, love.
What about you, Alma? What you been listening to lately?
First, I want to say, Vinny, I'm very disturbed by what I found when I looked up Vinny on that
Oh
horse.
gosh, why you looking up now?
Because I was like, I didn't get to see what you
I
was
was gonna
talking
say
about.
something, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna just look it up.
I sent y'all a picture in the group. Y'all see why I was.
Oh Lord,
What's been choking me is random after party by Coffee Brown.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess it came up some time ago, and it's just been in my like that on repeat playlist that Spotify makes for you. It's just I didn't realize I've just been listening to it consistently over the past couple of weeks, but it came out in 2000, a classic. It has a 90s feel to it, but it is a new millennium song. It's the duet. I think it's, oh gosh, what's the guy's name? Another girl's name is V. Oh, and the guy's name is Fonz.
Fonz,
And they were discovered by RL from Next. And I didn't even realize that Fonz had wrote on Bootylicious. So you know, always be finding out these little things about these artists when you start looking into the music. But Coffee Brown, After Party, classic song, feel good song, just like I don't know, it just makes you just want to do a little two step on the dance floor. I don't know, but yeah, it's been choking me.
yeah.
Yeah.
My chokehold is "Get Close" by Ari Lennox. I've been fiending for some new music by her, so we had to go back to her latest single, which I think was dropped like late last year. But yeah, I can't wait to hear more music from Ari. I hope she has an album coming out soon. I know Ari be going through her things, but that girl can make some music, so hopefully we'll hear something new this year. If not, you know, do what you gotta do.
I saw her and Duran. They were at like the Everyday People Party in LA. They were together. I'm just like, please, y'all just talk. I love their collabs. Just talking, get something.
Didn't he just put out a single or an album or something? Yeah.
Yeah, he just put out a single. I didn't listen to it yet either because I think when he first released it, it was like you have to pay for it, which I have no problem. Get your coins because he's an independent artist.
Yeah.
It's like right now I ain't got it.
Right. You know, that's kind of smart that now that I think about it, like putting your music behind the paywall, especially if you don't have a big a record label or company backing you. That's smart.
Smart. Do what you gotta do.
Shoot, how many times I used to pay 99 cents for an iTunes single? Like,
remember getting gift cards for your birthday and Christmas?
Yes. Yes.
To be very specific.
yeah.
Which songs?
Yes, exactly. Or like I used to be mad when the gift card was like $10, but the album was $13.99. I'm like, God, you can't buy the whole album.
You gotta choose a song. Now you gotta make a decision.
Yeah.
And you have 10 cents left. At the end.
There was always some change left over that you couldn't use. Anyway, I just also wanted to say thank you to everybody who showed up to our live, passed through, tapped, said okay, and then bye. You know, thank you for tapping or whatever. Thank you to NECA and Brandon for Discourse in India. It was a lot of fun, y'all. And Dan and Jackie and so many people came by and gave us some, you know, put-ons. They gave us some, you know, we just had a fun time. It was a lot of fun. So hopefully we'll do more of those. It seems like I got a couple of text messages saying like, if I had known, I would have been on there.
We gonna see next time when we let y'all go ahead
Not
of
you
time.
say.
We gonna see next time. But no, it was fun. It was fun.
It was fun. On to our musical mess. Again, this is just like what we were talking about yesterday on the live. And I guess it'll be appropriate to get Dami's take because we didn't get your take last time on some stuff. We talked about Diddy, Anita Baker, not Jennifer Lopez. Why am I saying that? Cardi B. You too, Vinny. You know, we want to hear your take as well. But you know, we had that unfortunate, but also fortunate in a way because we actually saw proof of Diddy hurting Cassie with that surveillance video that came out from 2016, I believe it was. Yeah, so that was first of all hard to watch. I'm glad that they put like warnings over the actual like violence. But you can clearly tell there was animosity, hatred, whatever that fueled him to do what he did, unfortunately. And it's like, all right, here we go. This is really who he is. Like, she wasn't lying. Like, we believe her in the beginning anyway, but if everybody who doubted her or thought it was just a money grab, like, you guys are obviously wrong. There was like a statement that was put out by the district attorney's office, I believe, Los Angeles. And they said if the conduct depicted occurred in 2016, unfortunately, we would be unable to charge as the conduct would have occurred beyond the timeline where crime of assault can be prosecuted. As of today, law enforcement has not presented a case related to the attack depicted in the video against Mr. Combs, but we encourage anyone who has been a victim or witness to a crime to report it to law enforcement or reach out to our office for support, of course. There are 5 other cases that still remain active with Mr. Combs. But what are you guys thinking?
I have so many words, but at this point, I'm just tired because I feel like time and time again, we'll hear about these cases. There'll be certain groups of people who'll be like, well, where's the proof? Where's the proof? Like, well, we didn't see anything. We didn't see anything, knowing that we don't need proof. We don't need proof because what I think about when it comes to the situation, especially, is that it kind of reminds me of R. Kelly, right? It's like we're on the outside looking in. We have always been hearing like weird shit about some of these artists, and it's like we're the outside and we're like far, far removed. So many degrees separated from this artist, even their entourage. So it's like, how are we hearing this and nothing has been happening? And you have people that are actually within the entourage, people who are friends with these individuals.
Yeah.
And it's like, to me, it's like, yeah, fuck Diddy, right? We already know that. He's a sick man. Like, it sucks that the statute of limitations it passed, and hopefully some of these other cases will bring some type of criminal justice in. But it's like none of this is surprising. It's actually really triggering, I think, especially for those who have dealt with domestic violence.
Yeah.
I think I think she was like a journalist that Dr. Dre put his hands on. She tweeted, she was like, this is actually really triggering for me. And she said, I have to log off. Like, I think about domestic violence victims. I obviously think about Cassie and, you know, just knowing that she had to relive that. And just think about it. This is only one piece of evidence that we saw. She was with that man for how long?
I think from 2007 to 2018 at least.
That long. And to know that that's the only piece of evidence that we got, and we just got that, and that was from 2016. Can you imagine? And looking at that video, seeing how confident he was out in public doing that towards her. You can only imagine what he's been doing to her in private. And, you know, it's just like, yes, fuck Diddy, but I'm also now looking at everybody that's been around Diddy, knowing what he was doing to that woman. Also, last thing for me, because it really was pissing me off, go back into that Kim Porter case and figure out what's going on, because it wasn't pneumonia. I don't think it was pneumonia. I think they need to look into her case and figure out what's going on with that. That's it. Of course, fuck Diddy, but shame on y'all who had to wait for evidence Now you have that evidence. I hope you're not moving the
Mhm.
goalposts even further. I hope you would think in your fucking minds, like, look, the court
Yeah.
documents already detailed all this. We didn't even need the video.
Yeah.
So now you see the
Yeah.
video. I hope in future, when you have a sister, a mom, a daughter, a friend who's telling you what's going on in their lives, I hope you don't, that's not the first response you give to them is, oh, well, what happened to
What's
the
the
evidence? Why didn't you go
evidence?
to police? You know,
Yeah.
that's it. I'm sorry. It was pissing
No,
me off.
no, you don't have to
No.
apologize. I do also want to say, and this is not going against anything that you're saying, Dami, but a lot of times, victims of domestic abuse and the people involved, aka just the couple, they hide that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't really know. I know people who have gone through it, and the closest people to them had no idea that
Mm-hmm.
they were going through domestic violence because they weren't around when it was happening. They could have speculations, but it's a speculation. Yeah, you could see certain things, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what happened. So it's
Yeah.
only when the victim sometimes feels comfortable enough to say something, or there is proof like this
Yeah.
that it actually is like, yeah, I have been going through it, but I was so ashamed and scared and whatever, that I couldn't say anything, or that, I thought he was going to get better. I thought he was going to stop because after
Mm-hmm.
XYZ,
That's a
so
cycle of abuse.
yeah, exactly. So
Eh,
sometimes that does happen where you just like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that,
No, it
people
makes sense. Like,
didn't know, but like,
it's
there are some people they shun, they hide that stuff as much as they can. And it's only when we do see certain things, it's like, a lot of people sometimes are like, nah, not this person. No, like,
yeah.
couldn't
It
be.
makes sense because again, it doesn't even have to be a celebrity. Like
Yeah,
you'll hear
yeah,
that with your friends or
yeah,
family of them go through abuse. Like, wait, like I didn't even peep.
yeah,
But then it's like, I guess for Cassie's case in particular, like just going through the documents
yeah,
and
yeah.
knowing that there was time and time again where she escaped or like someone flew her out to different states so she could hide.
Mhm,
And like, that's the
mhm,
thing about power, right? Diddy
mhm.
had so much power of money where
Yeah,
he had people go out to get her and bring her back.
yep,
And of course, there was other times where she came back and she was like, I know how he is. Like, I'm going to go back. I
yeah.
want to apologize. Like, that's a cycle of abuse. But it's just,
It is,
it's
yeah.
crazy. It
It's
really
very
is crazy.
crazy.
And it's called domestic violence, right? Domestic abuse. People are talking about they need to see evidence. A lot of times this does happen within the confines of people's homes or
Mm-hmm.
or
Mhm,
hotel rooms or wherever. Like
mhm.
it does not happen in public a
Right.
lot of the times.
No.
Did people want to see, like, did he beat Cassie at an industry party? Like he would never
Like,
do
what
that,
he would
right?
never,
Like
like,
No,
he's
he,
not that stupid, like,
no.
and a
yeah,
lot of times the domestic abusers are they're not going to
Right.
show themselves,
yeah,
they're not gonna show
no,
that hand, no
no,
pun intended, they're not gonna show that about
Yeah.
themselves, they're doing their best to hide it. It's all about control with them at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day anyway, control and power, and so they're
yeah.
going to control it as
Mm-hmm.
much as they can, and then that's when they unleash it when it is behind closed doors,
Yeah.
you know?
So what
Yeah.
y'all really be wanting to see, like, y'all want people to set up a tripod and record their abuse? Like
Yeah, it's
that's
crazy.
what y'all think the kind of evidence y'all gonna get?
Are in
Like
the
that's
age
just
of TikTok and TMZ and thinking that, we're going to catch everything on a phone. No, there's a lot
no.
of things that happen behind closed doors that people have no idea about.
Yeah, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of y'all are
Um,
just idiots. A lot of y'all are just fucking idiots. And a lot of y'all are abusers yourself. And it comes out in multiple ways. When I say abuse, I don't always mean that doesn't always mean physical. Some of y'all are
mhm,
emotional abusers, and verbal abusers. And so
mhm,
a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times y'all excuse a lot of this behavior and, oh, I need this, I need this, I need that. It's like, but really hold the mirror up to yourself. What do you have inside of you that would see
mhm.
where you would look at a video like that and still find an excuse as to why it happened, or wanting more evidence?
That's
It's
crazy.
like a lot of y'all need to do some self reflection about your character and what's really going on the inside, and what issues that you have that would make you be okay with someone saying, I was abused for almost 10 years, and you being like, we need to see proof.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
didn't see it, it didn't happen.
It costs nothing to just shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
a lot
just
of y'all
not
are
having
fucking
opinion.
idiots.
It costs nothing. It's free, you know?
Right.
You don't have to say anything either. Vinny, anything you wanted to say in this regard?
I mean, I agree with everything Dami said. I like saw the video yesterday and I was immediately triggered.
Mhm.
I almost like flinched for the way Diddy was just able to do that just in public like that, and the camera was able to catch just that one brief incident among, I'm sure, many others. But it's almost like, yeah, as a celebrity and your public image, you would think that they would maintain those type of values if they like showcase that in the public eye, but you can never question that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We don't know these people.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like everybody's just you putting on a facade. Just
Mhm.
like, I mean, I'm not everybody. I'm sure there are really some people who are good people behind
Right,
closed
right.
doors, but
Yeah.
a lot of these celebrities, men and women alike,
Yeah.
we don't know who these fucking people are. Not in real life. No, we do not.
And we
Yeah.
also have to remember they are like humans with human experiences. They before they
Yeah.
became celebrities and money and fame and being recognition, they have issues. Like a lot of them have these issues before the money came, and it never was resolved. The money just, was able to hide it, or the
Yeah.
money was able to, keep it secret or pay people off. Like that's
Yeah.
all. Like it's been there, just like your regular your neighbor, your uncle, your auntie, your mom, your dad. Like issues been there. Yeah, very sad. You, my heart goes out to every victim of domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very, very difficult thing to take. Whew. Trigger warning
Yes.
to all those. Sorry that it was behind the stuff, but I'll make sure that you guys know trigger warning. Because that could be a lot to take. Let's get into something else though. But Anita Baker canceled her concert.
That's your girl.
15 minutes on Mother's Day, mind you. 15 minutes before her concert was supposed to begin. Now that is a lot of logistics that goes into
Atlanta.
counseling, that goes into canceling. Well, just going to a concert in the beginning, but canceling a concert as well. And there seems to be nothing. It's radio silent from Anita Baker's camp. You can't hear anything. Haven't heard
Yeah.
anything. Not sure what exactly went on. Obviously, there are some people who have gone there, are pissed. There's some people who, haven't been there and are like, hey, this is Anita Baker. No, this is something you got to prepare for. There are some people who are saying, well, we really don't know what went on. So let's try to give her some grace because she could have gotten some either horrible news or this or that. We don't know. But, there are also some people who say, we should have gotten something to let us know instead of a no call, no show.
Yes.
What are you guys thinking?
I'm trying to give her some grace, just because again we don't know what happened, what occurred. I think from what I was reading was like she didn't even show up to like dress rehearsal, sound check. So it's like, I don't know if it was a situation where she knew, like, no, like, we're not doing this show. And then Live Nation or whoever is responsible for communicating that didn't communicate to the last minute because they thought, like, oh, well,
She was going to show up.
like, she's going through something right now. She'll show up. Or if they were just like, nah, like, we're just going to wait because she'll eventually, like, so I'm trying to be cautious with this because, like, if it was like a health situation, something happened to a family member, I get it. I still think that her team should have said something. Something, even if it was last minute. Okay, the cancellation happened last minute. Should have said something. Sorry, sorry to her fans. She would have loved to perform, especially for Mother's Day weekend. And it doesn't even have to explain why. But just something like, we'll make it up to you, or we'll postpone or something. But like nothing. That's that's really questionable. And of course, like just knowing about her touring past and I guess her her behavior or what she's known to be during touring, whatever. Like I get it. All that just adds fuel. With this cancellation. But I can understand as maybe someone who's an avid Anita fan who brought their mom. Some of us, we like to travel for shows. Like, I never been to Atlanta. So like if I was a big Anita fan, I was like, oh, let me bring my mom. We spent money on flights, spent money for the hotel, food, especially, you're trying to look cute. So you got new outfits and, you pay for the Uber or you paid for a rental, you get to the stadium and you see everybody outside and everybody's like, what's going on? They're like, oh, Nia just canceled. Like, what? Like,
Yeah.
I can understand also like just being pissed off. So like trying to give her some grace. I really want to know what happened. But if it was a situation where like, I don't know, something really minuscule and she just canceled, like, yeah, you might get your behind whooped, auntie. And and maybe this could be a sign, like, just stop touring.
Yeah.
Stop touring, or like have the special, like I know she did like a residency, like maybe go back to that.
Yeah.
But just regular touring, I feel like maybe she should just take a pause on that.
Yeah.
It's similar to what we had said about Patti LaBelle when Patti didn't know the lyrics to Simply the Best and was ill prepared. And we were basically saying, Patti, you've been in this industry for a long time. You know what goes into prepping for a performance. I would say the same thing to Anita. Anita, you've been in this industry a long time and you know that things happen, sometimes unexpected or tragic things happen that kind of shift the plans and or whatever, cause cancellations. And that's fine, but you also know how to handle it from a PR perspective and putting out some type of statement, apologizing and saying something happened. Not saying what happened, but just saying that some unfortunate or extenuating circumstances happened and I had to cancel. I apologize to my fans. Thank you for your support. That's it. That would have been fine. Just something to the fans. Their extenuating circumstances. Sorry, I appreciate your support. I apologize. We'll try to either refund or reschedule, something like that. I don't even need to know what happened. Something like that would be nice. That's why I say, like, grace if something terrible happened, but not grace on how this should have been addressed with her from her team afterwards. I don't have any grace for that because it's nothing to put out something on Instagram or Twitter. I need to be tweeting every day. I'm sure her team could have just threw a tweet out there or something.
Yeah. What about you, Vinny?
Well, I will say if I wasn't able to see her for whatever reason, this is anecdotal. She comes on at work all the time, and I love Sweet Love.
Yeah.
And if I could just sing it in front of everyone, I would love to do so. And she sounds great. So whatever happened during that concert, it's unfortunate, but I'll always have her 5 days a week, and it never gets old.
It never gets old.
I love Sweet Love.
I feel you. Well, yeah. Everybody knows that Anita is my problematic fave, as she's been. I'm not gonna say she could do no wrong, but I have no clue what happened. Do feel bad for everybody who went and did so much to go see her. Like, that is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And it's like, especially if Anita is their fave. I mean, when you think about it, baby boomers, they raise their kids, us millennials, on Anita, especially Black baby boomers. Like, that's the reason why Anita is my fave. Like, because my mother was playing Anita Baker from the time I was born until basically she died. Like, so we've gone to go see her. We've had so many different memories regarding Anita. If she canceled when we went to go see her, yeah, I probably would be mad. But I don't think it would stop me from listening to her music. And I wouldn't be, I think I would still be a fan. And just, I hope that she is okay. I hope that whatever is going on is, going to be worked out. I did say on the live, like, some people do have a hard time with Mother's Day. It was literally on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
We have no clue. Obviously, yes, it would be nice to know, like, or to say, hey, professionalism wasn't there. We know that. Like, everything was missing in that regard. There are a lot of people who have not been professional in their regular lives as well when it comes down to jobs. It's still a job for Anita if you think about it. And that's not saying this is the right thing that she did. She did the wrong thing. They should tell us, like, hey, sorry, there were some miscommunications. Anita couldn't go on. She wasn't coming. And Live Nation didn't do whatever, or blah, 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 blah. Something should have been said. But at the end of the day, like, some people really do have it hard on Mother's Day. Some people do I literally have seen my mother not get out of the bed on Mother's Day because she was mourning the loss of her great grandmother who passed away near Mother's Day. So I don't know. We don't know. We don't know. And sometimes my mother didn't say anything, like why she wouldn't get out of the bed. And we would just have to be like, okay, I guess this is a bad day. And we would have to wait until she got out of whatever it was, the depression or grief. Or sometimes I remember literally one time we had to what my aunt literally called her, like, get up, like, so I don't know. We don't know, we don't know the circumstance, but whatever it is, hope she's safe, hope that her family is okay. She could have some health issues. People were saying like how she's been limping a lot lately and tired. She is I think in her late 60s,
She up there.
early
She
70s.
getting up there, yeah.
That's hard on your body. Entertaining people. This may be, but we don't know her financial situation. So this is what she knows. I think about how many people in this day and age can't retire at 65 like they wanted to.
Hello.
They have to keep working to maintain things. So I don't know. We don't know. But yeah, wish everything is better. And sorry to all the fans who missed out. I hope there's something. I hope y'all get a refund or something for real.
Yeah.
At least.
I will say though, I would have loved to be at that stadium or
Right, at that
just
time.
outside, just hearing all the aunties going crazy.
Going off.
I would have been cackling. I'm sorry. I don't like laughing at people pain, but that I felt that. Yes.
What did that one say? You said she's a bald-headed ass.
Yeah.
Anita bald. I said Anita was her girl until she said, "I'm not coming on," and she said, "Now she's bald-headed."
She said bald like 3 times.
How quickly it turned.
Bald-headed ass happened.
I bet
Yeah,
she
you know
was in the
that
car like, "Girl, I can't wait to hear fairy tales. Girl, I can't wait to hear." And as soon as they said, Anita's not gonna be.
Yeah, they was cutting up.
Yeah.
Old school cuss out. Yeah,
Mhm.
heifer this, wench this,
Yeah.
wench.
All right. Anything else you guys want to discuss, or let's get on to the get on one.
I just want to say congrats to Mary. Congrats.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The boots. And
Damn.
we don't have to go deep into it. All I'm saying is y'all clearly don't know Mary. Y'all clearly don't know her. So, but congrats, her boots sold out.
As they should.
She did a collab with what was it? Giuseppe?
I think this was like a long time coming because she had said something that she'd been wanting to do with Giuseppe for a while, because that's pretty much all she wears.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what she said. She said, "Catch me with the V's on the wheels, Giuseppe's on the heels."
So anyone who's saying anything negative, y'all clearly did not know her. But clearly the right audience bought the boots, and
Period.
they'll be rocking them beautiful ass looking boots.
You know what? Honestly, admittedly, when I first saw the price tag, I said, then I had to think about it. It's a designer boot, number one.
Yeah.
If it is a limited collection, of course the costs are going to be high, because it's not like going to be, you want to make as much money in a short period of time. And like you said, I was like, it's Mary, like she gets custom boots made, so why wouldn't this be expensive? And then I thought about it some more. Honestly, I thought the boot was nice. It's not for me, but I thought it was nice. I was like, if that was a design that I liked, I would buy it.
You would buy it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I ain't mad at it. Get your money. I think it is a cute boot. Like, I love the style. It's not for me, but I love it, and I love that it's the Mary boot. And but I was like, if this was a design that I really liked, I would do it. So I was like, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. And I know Fashion Nova just gonna make it a knockoff anyway. So
It's coming.
people really want it, then there you go. There you go. But it already sold out.
Yeah. I think sometimes people, because we know Mary to be like an around the way girl, and we just expect her to give us around the way girl prices. But that doesn't, I mean, with a designer
That's
like
not what she
Giuseppe,
gives us.
it's not gonna happen. And also like there's plenty of people who have done shoe collabs and their prices are high. Like that is you think about Tiana Taylor. I think hers was Rose and Harlem Jordans were pretty expensive. They got cheaper. Dami, go ahead, check out both.
Check it out.
Cactus Jack. You think about Travis Scott and Nike. Like his are there. I think they're like $1,000 for sneakers. Not boots. less,
Right.
much less material, y'all. So like those who want to buy will buy.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
you know, if you can't afford it,
Always.
you can't afford it. There's other things. She has earrings. She has
Yeah.
wine, other things that you can
Oh
support of hers
yeah,
that
that's true.
if you really wanted to buy something of Mary's and say, oh, this is Mary, like I get it. You know, a boot is a boot. You want to be a part of the Mary J. Blige boot clan. But you know, sometimes it's just like, okay, I can't afford it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is what it is. Sorry. Like, good for her.
It just might not be for you, and that's
Yeah,
okay.
that's it. That's it.
That's it.
You know, I understand you people feel disappointed. You wanna support your fave. I get it.
Mhm.
All right, cool. Vinny, anything? Would you buy boots? I don't know.
I
Like,
would buy it.
would you?
If it was if I was a fan,
Yeah,
as a collector's item,
yeah,
limited edition,
yeah.
I feel like it's gonna appreciate over time, especially that style of boot versus a
Mhm.
sneaker. Uh,
Hmm.
Mhm.
and is it like gold, or I saw a
The
photo of
rose
it.
gold.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a nice piece, like just to own.
Yeah, I feel you.
Definitely.
That's
How much
true.
is it?
12.95 or
50 or
something.
$12.95. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Basically $1,300.
Yeah, if I see it, you see it that way, I would definitely,
Yeah.
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 Some people are not. I mean, you think about some of her fan base. I get it. I get it. I get it. Things are expensive.
Yeah.
Life is expensive. I get
It's
it.
for the original tees.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. The ones with
so.
no kids and able to travel the world when they
Yeah.
All right.
you know,
Just
or
got their
even if
pension.
they do have kids.
Yeah.
She's
Right. Just got their picture.
oh,
That's all I hear my mama say.
it's amazing.
That's
Okay,
real though.
that,
That's real.
that was something. That musical mess was something else. Anyway, let's get on to this hook, y'all. This hook I'm excited about. This is something that we have done last year. We didn't do it, so this is cool that we're doing something to kind of pay homage to the Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So, just a little brief history. I think it's important to know how things came about. This was signed into law in 1992 as Asian Pacific American Heritage Month under George Bush, the daddy. Although the effort to officially recognize Asian American and Pacific Islander contributions to the U.S. began in the late 1970s, it took over 10 years to actually make it a month-long celebration. And it started off as like just a week, and then their recognition eventually, slowly but surely, expanded to a month. And it was renamed AAPI Heritage Month in 2009. So it wasn't always Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Um, Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders have contributed in many ways to American culture and society, more than just food and fine men, let me tell you.
Oh, Lord.
You know,
All right.
politics, music, you know, obviously entertainment, sports. You think in politics, Kamala Harris is our vice president. She's the first Asian American vice president. So that's something to, you know, be proud of. And I know that we use like AAIP as an umbrella term, but if you really like think about it, there's so many different cultures and, you know, many regions that span the continent of Asia. It is, and we're just touching on just a small sect of it if you think about it, but there's so much that goes into Asian culture. The Federal Asian Pacific American Council said that the theme of AAIP Heritage Month this year, 2024, is advancing leaders through innovation. It encourages local and national governments to prioritize providing opportunities to people in the AAPI community to refine their skills and enhance their leadership abilities. So it's something to think about. And May, do you guys know why May was the month chosen?
I don't.
No.
No.
Okay, so May was the month chosen because it commemorates the immigration of the first Japanese people to the U.S., which occurred on May 7th, 1843. And it also recognizes the Golden Spike Day, which is May 10th, which marked the completion of the transcontinental railroad that was built. And as we know, we had a lot of Chinese immigrants. If you remember in history, a lot of Chinese immigrants came and helped build this country. practically. And then, obviously Congress and the government was fucked up and said, wait a minute, we got to ban y'all because it's too many, like fucked up. But yeah, asking for help and then saying, no, never mind.
Right.
That's the American way.
What? Any tidbits or facts that you guys know about AAPI month or anything like that? Anything you've been doing at work or no?
My job, they're having like different like luncheons and recognizing a lot of the AAPI higher execs. So the director from my department, she's actually Indian, and I think she's going to be one of the speakers at the luncheon. So
Nice.
that's going to be cool. And I will say, like, when I moved to Bloomfield for my high school years, that was like my first experience of learning about all these different cultures. Within that space, because when I was in Irvington and Newark, it was a big Black and Latinx community, but definitely moving to Bloomfield, like I got a lot of experiences with the different cultures. We had a lot of like Vietnamese folks, but yeah, it's very well diverse in that area. So
I love that.
Yeah, I just even took a quick glance. I don't know if my company put anything out yet about it. Not that I've seen. I know usually they do acknowledge each month, and they'll have like different activities planned throughout the month. But I did not see anything. It's not saying that nothing's coming, but I did not see anything.
You said, not talk bad about my company.
I mean, that's why we don't say where we work, child. But yeah, I mean, growing up, I did not grow up around a large Asian community. Even my school, like there was only a handful of like Asian American students. It wasn't until I went to college and moved to Philly that I was exposed to that type of diversity, to be honest with you. And I often wonder, I know there is a large Asian community in like Louisiana and New Orleans, on the West Bank. It's huge, but I guess my immediate like community was not. But when I moved to Philly is when I was really exposed to all of these different cultures and the food and the music and the people, like all these different things. And I had a greater appreciation for it because I didn't even realize until I left Louisiana that I was not being exposed in that way. Like, so they say sometimes ignorance is bliss. Like I didn't even realize what I was missing out on and that I hadn't been exposed to any other type of culture outside of the Black culture primarily. So moving to Philly was like really eye-opening. It was really fun learning about all of these different types of cultures and people's backgrounds, and then finding a lot of similarities, honestly. To like family dynamics and how we see different things. So that was really cool once I moved up here.
Yeah, my experience, we grew up around a lot of Indian people, like our neighbors. So that's like probably my exposure. There's also my uncle was in Vietnam. So, definitely has a Vietnamese wife. My Aunt O. Shout out to Aunt O. And so, yeah, I have cousins who are half Black, half Vietnamese. So that was interesting, like just learning about them, learning how they got together. My Uncle Cal and my Aunt O, how they got together. And, my mom's family, when I was born, they thought that my mom was with a different man.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God.
They were like, my mom brought me to a funeral or whatever. And then she, uncovers me and she said, somebody came and was like, is that daddy Hawaiian?
Oh,
like, no.
Not Hawaiian.
Like, no, her dad is Black.
Oh gosh. And it was that serious.
It was really serious. She was like, what? No. But yes, I grew up around a lot of different cultures. I wasn't like really exposed to like the music and deep into the culture, obviously, but just learning some tidbits here and there through friends and stuff like that. And like you said, just Amma said about like learning about the different cultures. But I think it wasn't really until college that it's like, oh, okay, like there's all different types of people and different types that were raised in, but there's also a lot of similarities with Asian cultures and stuff like that. So Vinny, I know, like obviously the whole entire continent of Asia is not on your back, and you can't know every region of Asia. But give us a little bit about your background and your heritage and where your people come from, as we say. Like people ask us, where your people from?
Sure, of course. So I'm Filipino-American, and when you did the introduction and they said how there's contributions from the late 70s onward, I mean, that's pretty much like how my family came over here. So there's a huge immigration boom in the late 70s,
Yeah.
early 80s. And so
Mhm.
my parents and all my friends' parents, they immigrated. A lot of them worked in like STEM or healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, nursing, that's a huge
Mm-hmm.
industry in the Philippines. And
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
they just went to different pockets of the United States. So New York was a major hub, LA, San Francisco. And then from there, we just build like our own little communities and integrate it and assimilate it. So
Mm.
I guess I'm a second generation American,
Okay.
grew up in New Jersey.
Hey.
And it was, yeah, so like what Dami was experiencing, I experienced my entire life. And it was pretty diverse where I lived, all different cultures mingling together. So it was nice to kind of have that exposure when I was like a kid.
Mm.
But I pretty much like, in terms of like my musical interest
Mm.
and being Filipino, they like are pretty much one in one. And I only realized that
Mhm.
now when you wanted you had me come over to speak to you guys. I was like trying to think about it, and like a
Yeah.
lot of like why I like certain music or my taste,
Mm-hmm.
I can connect it to my culture, which is fascinating. Like I had the time to think
Mhm.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. You don't realize these things,
Mm,
obviously, because you're just like in it.
right.
So you're
Mhm.
not like when
Right.
people ask you, you're just like, I don't know. And then you start to really do your like research a little bit and you're like, oh yeah, I do like this artist because this
Mhm.
was always played at parties or this was always at, Christmas time, this particular
Right.
song.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um we
Definitely. Like the Filipino party, it's like its whole like little thing that I could like get on. Like I could spend hours talking about it and like
I was just
how
about to
it's
ask you
yeah.
about it because I didn't been to a couple of your parties.
Yes.
And you guys
Yes.
did have stuff and for 4th of July and then for like your graduation, like y'all don't play.
We
Similar,
don't
similar to
know.
Black culture, like the music is a very like important part of the party, and it's also are the line dances. So I saw
Hmm.
that for myself, and I was like, oh, all right now, all right.
Like I have to like that type of party. I don't know where it started from. It definitely didn't start in the Philippines. Like our interest
Hmm.
in dancing and music obviously
mm,
came for the multiple cultures in the
yeah.
Philippines
Mhm.
and America. But
Mhm.
the way line dancing and our Filipino parties are run, I think
Mm-hmm.
that's unique to like the East Coast and then just spread from
Mm.
there. Because I'll go to California and they'll have a party, but they won't have the type of line dancing that like I experienced when I was a kid.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm,
Yeah, so it was like really interesting, or I didn't realize how unique it was or how special it was. So like
yeah.
like there's a like a playlist, like a very specific playlist, and it never changes until like it takes maybe 5 to 10 years for it to change. And I'm sure you guys can like relate to that. Like you have to play certain songs.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And
Of
Yep.
We
course.
could definitely make reference to our cookout episode. Like
Yep.
there are particular
Yes.
songs that we need to
Mhm.
if you
hear.
don't play that one
And
song,
Everybody's
yeah.
Yep.
like,
yeah.
Yep.
Wait, they didn't play. They didn't play. I don't
Oh,
know.
they
Maybe
say that.
maybe that cookout wasn't as
They go up to
good.
the
I don't know.
DJ, whoever's running the music.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And
What's
then
what's your?
also
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
depending on who's there. Some people are like, I don't want to hear that new stuff.
Mhm.
Yep. I was
Whoa.
gonna say it depends on the generation too.
Yeah.
Like,
That too. That'd
Sorry,
be
Alma,
me.
what were you saying?
That'd be me. What's your go-to line dance song, Vinny? Like, if you absolutely, I know there's a playlist, but like you absolutely must hear and dance to it every
Oh,
time.
I mean, that's a no-brainer. So
Mhm.
like in the beginning, so when line dancing starts in the
Mhm.
90s, it used to be Electric Slide and Macarena. Like
Mhm.
those are classics. Not
Yes.
anymore. You
yeah.
can't play those songs.
What?
Because we want to hear like it's overdone
Mm.
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like it's not a dance that I guess we didn't create. I don't think that's the reason, but there's like an anthem, and so it's called Dodo Dodo by Daniela Romo. When you hear that song, the beginning and the trumpets, it's like everyone goes up. Everyone goes up to the floor, and that's when the party starts. And the song isn't even Filipino; it's Spanish.
I was just about to say, like, but that just goes into to tell you, like, the Filipino culture is influenced by so many different. Well, technically, if you want to go there, globalization and how like different cultures have come in, had the Hispanic culture came in, like, and brought religion and Catholicism to the Philippines, and you can hear it in the music. And like you're saying, like when I heard that suggestion, Toto Toto, I was like, wait a minute. I don't think this is
I don't even know what Dodo Dodo means.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, what is the major language? It's like Cubana, or what are the major languages in the Philippines?
It's Tagalog. That's the major language. But then on my mom's side, it's Bisaya. So
Bisaya. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like
there was another one with a C.
That's similar to Bisaya. It's Cebuano.
Cebuano.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're similar. It's like almost like a dialect.
Yes, and I was like, I don't think this is any of their languages.
When I was a kid, I thought that was Tagalog. Like I was like, yeah, this is Filipino. My family's dancing to the song, and they probably made this dance, and that's a Filipino artist. And let's go with the dance. So that's my go-to. I mean, that's everyone's go-to, and like you have to know. Like no one's gonna teach you it anymore. Back in the day, they would give like practice rounds, and then they would repeat it so everyone knows. But you just have to know it now. So you got to know your line dances now. No one's gonna handhold you anymore.
Better get on YouTube.
Is that right? Go on YouTube. Oh my gosh. You knew this wedding was coming up.
Yeah.
Right.
You had to practice.
So what are you going to do when you have kids? Are you going to be like, okay, before we go to this birthday party, let me switch on real quick.
Do it right now.
No. I was very intimidated.
Force them to watch?
Yeah, I was intimidated. Because that's how you learn. Like
that's a good point. Nobody taught me the electric slide. They just said get on the floor and do it. That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody said before we get there, this is what we about to do. This is how we about to dance. Yeah.
And you know you're ready. That's when you get out there.
Like
that's why I don't notice me a dance.
Like times when you're nervous as a kid, and then you like put your foot out, and then you go back and hide, and you try again. That was like me with line dancing. I was like, I really want to do it, but I don't know the moves. And then you like your parents or your aunts or your uncles behind you just push you. And then you just go for it.
And then that's how we had to do you with this podcast. Come on, man.
Come on, you can do it.
Yeah.
You got it.
You can do it.
It's all right, baby. It's all right.
That's the number one song. Like that's the quintessential Filipino line dance anthem. And then number two, it's not even close, but number two afterwards immediately is September by Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yes.
That, like, where did the connection come from?
It's just a great song.
Yeah,
it is.
Of course.
If the song is like great party disco, has like amazing beat, we'll find a dance or we'll make up a dance for it, and it'll catch on. If it catches on, then it'll be in the playlist. So
now that's the one that I did at your house and at your graduation party. And you're right. I just had to get up and like fall in line because anybody was like worried about whether I knew the dance or not. I was just like, well, let me just see if I can follow them. I got to the back and eventually I caught on. So you're right. That's exactly how it went. Y'all was going off.
Yeah.
And one thing Vinny is downplaying, Vinny is a dancer.
Oh, I was
can
gonna say
dance.
that. I was gonna say, look,
He can
I
dance.
know Vinny and Amma, they've been friends since their freshman year of college, but and Vinny and I we weren't close at all during school, but I just remember always seeing Vinny dancing.
Yep.
I was like, who are these guys just dancing all over the place? Like every party or like a BSU event or like some event, I just see some guy just dancing. Like, who was that? And he will be killing it.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Good dancing. Yeah.
Good dancing.
Yeah.
Those Filipino parties, man. But like I have to mention this, like, and I think that's why like I enjoy dancing, and my musical taste, and all of that
Mhm.
put together. So after you line dance, like this is the whole thing here. Then you go into like salsa merengue, and you play like
Wow.
suavemente. You know that song
Wow.
Oh Lord.
by Elvis Crispo. And so when all
Yeah.
you're line
Oh yes.
dancing, you line dance.
Oh yes.
You grab a partner and you play suavemente.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't if I had Filipino neighbors, I wouldn't know, and I
No.
didn't really know them. I'd be like, "Yeah, are they Hispanic?" Like I would probably be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I probably know these people because where I used to work, I know what I'm doing." And then I go there and it's totally. I mean, like,
Different.
wait, this isn't. But again, it just speaks to the influences of Spanish culture and like
Mhm.
back in the day, what had happened with the history and
Hmm.
all that influences the music.
Mhm.
And like even when you talk about Earth, Wind and Fire, like my little bit of research that I was doing because I want to be as um competent as I possibly can, and like but like I saw that a lot of like the music in the 70s and stuff
Mhm.
is disco, like a lot of
Mhm.
OPM, I think it's called, like
Yeah.
original Filipino music. It sounds the Manila sound. It sounds like Barry White. It
Mhm.
sounds like, Earth, Wind and Fire. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, they get down. It's just a different language. Like,
Yeah.
like they groovy just like we are. Like, I'm like, okay, like I feel that.
100%. It's like timeless too. Like now, like you'll keep hearing those same songs. Like there's almost a nostalgia for it. In parties
Speaking our
now.
language.
Yeah.
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 But then I'm gonna end with so this is in the 90s, okay? So
Okay.
after they play Suavemente and variations of that song, they'll play either Murder She Wrote or Hedge High
Wow.
or
Wow.
Limb by Limb.
What?
Dance hall in the 90s.
Wait a minute.
Yes,
Wow.
Wait a minute.
100%. 100%.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yes. I mean, it's only
Mr.
right.
Vegas, Lucy Liu,
Yeah, in the
Flips
Yeah,
Nights.
it makes sense. And cause y'all like to party. Y'all like to
Yeah,
party. It would make
I'm
sense
so
that dance hall will work.
And I thought they
I
were
love
Filipino too. I thought all the songs we played were all Filipino artists.
That is too funny.
And
That is
I
too
like
funny.
enjoy dancehall so much. Like
Yeah.
because of our Filipino parties. Like that's incredibly unique to me too, how much I heard dancehall throughout my childhood. Like I was that person. I was like, I really need to hear this song. I need to hear Limb by Limb. If I don't hear Limb by Limb, then this party is whack. I can't.
Do you think is that also an East Coast thing, or you feel
I was
like
gonna ask about that because it's like when you said like the major populations like New York,
Mhm.
you have LA, San Fran, but when I think about New York as well, it's like there's just so many immigrant populations that's there. Like a lot of immigrants when they first arrive, a lot of them arrive in New York first and they'll make
Yep.
they'll form the communities there.
Wherever their
And-
families are, yeah, they
Right.
go. Jersey,
And as
yeah.
small as New York City is and as small as some pockets of New Jersey is, it's like you have all these different immigrant populations living and coexisting in one area, and it's like it just makes sense that
Yeah.
you listen to your friends' music,
Yeah.
or
Right.
those in your music, like wait a minute, like I like
Yeah.
this, and that's how I guess you just start this culture, this immigrant American culture of being raised on something else. So that's kind of
I don't
cool.
know if it was in like everyone, like during that time, everyone else's cookout or everyone else's party. I just remember distinctly, like you'll have like kids, teenagers, adults, dancing.
Yeah.
To all the
That's how it should
songs.
be.
Yeah.
that's how it should be? It really should be. When you come together, it should just be about having a good time and everybody being on the same accord. So I love that.
Yeah.
And that should just let everybody know as well. Music has no race. Like it does.
Exactly.
There's no color to music. Everybody, every type of culture, as long as it sounds good, then you're gonna have a good time. Like that's all that matters. It's not about what the artist looks like. Like nobody cares who. Earth, Wind, and Fire could be one person. We don't care. They can miss all the elements. We don't care. Like
Yeah. I mean, I looked
I
at the
thought Ricky was one
playlist
person.
and I was like, yeah, there's like maybe this is the whole world right here.
yeah, dang.
But presently now, I'm like waiting for new stuff. Like I still haven't heard
Mm.
like Jerusalem at the line dancing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm really surprised at that. Like, but I saw recently at my friend's wedding, they did Texas Hold'em, uh,
Stop.
Of course they
the line
Wow.
did.
dance, and I was just like, all right, if this catches on, I just gotta
Was
go
it
in.
easy? Was it easy?
No,
Oh.
it's never easy. It's never easy. It just gets harder, and you just gotta
I was
keep
gonna
up with
say,
it.
does the line dancing like do the moves change with the song, or is it like you guys use the same moves for okay, let's just use this new age song or contemporary song?
So every song has a distinct line dance. Never know
Mhm.
who created it. I can't answer that. But you just put your own spin
Can you
to
think?
it. You know,
Mhm.
you use the moves and then you try to like kind of show off in a way.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then it just turns into an all out party. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
Okay.
that.
As it should be.
Is
Mhm.
there any like memorable experiences that you have related to specific Filipino music or a Filipino artist, musical artist, that kind of like is significant to your family or you growing up or had an impact on you and what you like now?
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, like disco type of music. Like OPM is obviously brought on by a lot of different influences.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Spanish influence, you have the American
Mm-hmm.
influence, you have the Japanese influence with like karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
Um like I think
Yes.
uh like I think karaoke and American music and the influence it had on the Philippines kind of transpired into what OPM is now.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But if we go back like oh gosh, I can talk about this. If I go back for 500 years, 400 years, 300 years like Hispanic or Spanish colonial Philippines, there's
Mm-hmm.
like this concept called or like this there's this like musical genre called harana.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
harana is just a guitar, but it's like what people used to do to serenade like someone.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So if you think about like a lot
Oh.
of the ballads we have or the karaoke or like the acoustic songs
Ah.
that we have,
Mhm.
I always like connect that to like Harana. And
Mm.
I heard about it like years ago. And it's like the most beautiful form of like expressing your love to someone or like if you want to date someone.
Wow.
So if you're
Mm.
interested in someone, uh uh you got to know how to sing and you gather all your friends who play instruments and you'll sing this song late at night or like you'll go to her house um
Huh.
and you'll like express your love to her through harana and she can be like
Ooh.
at the stair top, she could be at the window,
Oh,
um
wow.
or you can if you have the money you can hire people. It's not
Stop.
as
Come
personalized.
on. I love
I
that.
feel like we've seen this like play out in different movies and stuff. I just never
Yeah,
knew what it
like
was actually
you know
formally
that
called.
what was it John Cusack with the radio? Like he has it over
Mhm.
his
Mhm.
head.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's kind of like that, but I feel like this is more like endearing.
Mhm.
And then
More sweet
yeah,
serenade
Yeah,
than yeah.
serenading, yeah.
or like you're playing the harana. It's beautiful. I think it's like the highest form of something like that. Like I can't imagine doing it now
Mhm.
at this day
Is
and
there a
age.
Mm.
specific song that you can like pinpoint that is like not quintessential, like it has to be the end all be all, but that makes you like this is what I would want to play,
Like now, like
Or just like ever, like for like that you would give me an example of Harana specifically.
oh, I mean, I don't know too much about like the different songs like hundreds of years ago,
Mhm.
but a lot of our songs is about like love and
Mhm.
heartbreak and things of that nature. Like I'll like like I'll ask you guys like let's say what song would you want if someone came up to you and did like Harana to you guys?
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I would have to hear it. That's why I'm trying to get an example so I can put
Yeah.
in there. But
I mean,
if I wanted somebody to serenade
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
Sweet Lady, by Tyrese.
yeah,
Oh wow.
I love "Stay With Me" by the Barge.
Barge. That's
Oh,
great
yes,
one.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah,
good one.
um, yeah, I love if I'm talking about like serenading that.
Maybe Love by Music Soul Child.
I was thinking about that too.
That or
Yes.
"Don't
Yeah.
Change." I
Don't
love that.
change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Yeah, I was trying to get a
Hard.
specific one that I
Can't
could
think
like
of some.
like an input, like
Mhm.
uh
Boys to Men or something.
like what was I?
Close
I was
your
reading
eyes.
up on like even like Pinoy pop, Pinoy R&B and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And like the different songs and stuff. It sounds very much like R&B. Like sounds very similar to things that I've heard.
Yeah.
Some of our well-known R&B crooners.
Yeah, I think if
Yeah.
especially those influences, I would say
Mhm.
like in the 70s, 80s, like a song that's
Mhm.
similar to that. It's called like When I Met You by Apple
Mm.
Hiking Society.
Mhm.
If you hear that song, and it's all in English, like you can kind of see the influence between like
Ah. Okay.
and music in America in the 70s. It has that feel.
Yeah.
So it's great.
The group that kept coming up on a playlist that I was listening to was the Boyfriends.
Oh yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
Yeah. So I kept hearing them and I was like, oh, they must be like well known, and that it kept popping up.
Mhm.
And then I listened to a couple of your suggestions with like Freddie Aguilar and
Yeah, he's big. Like,
yeah.
I was gonna say, I
Yeah, that
definitely
name
heard
is
of Freddie.
popular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Freddie was laughing in a couple of his songs. I said, "Wait a minute, Freddie, I don't know what you laughing at." I understand what's happening.
it's like the most popular song in the Philippines. It's called like Anak. And that song kind of pretty much summarizes Filipino culture in a nutshell.
Got you.
It's like Anak means like child. And like you
Mhm.
can when I tell you the story, you'll know, oh, I know what this reminds me of. And like he like
Mm.
grew up and he wanted to get into music, and then as he got older, he got into gambling and his parents like kicked him out. Or like they had like a fraught relationship, and then
Mhm.
he came back and they took him in again, and he kind of like wrote this song like to express his like admiration for his parents for being
Mhm.
able to
Wow.
accept him. So
Mhm.
it reminds me a little bit of like the prodigal son, like
Got
Yes.
you.
and
Yes.
like honoring your parents and like Christian Catholic values,
Mhm.
but also like that solo ballad style of singing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like the way he sings. It's like I think it's called like pagbasa or passion.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
like a style of like chanting you do for like a narrative of like Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay.
So like that song, you can understand like why that song is so famous.
Mhm.
It's like a pretty powerful song, and kind of tells all of like what it means to be Filipino.
So you would say like major themes in Filipino music is like you were saying, like Christian values, religion in some way, or what other themes are important or is in Filipino music?
Love, heartbreak, and then we just love to dance too. So there's a lot
Mhm.
of pop, disco, definitely
Mhm.
R&B. R&B is huge. Like if you
Yeah.
go on like I can't even keep up with all the music nowadays.
Yes, it's so
Like yeah,
much.
there's so many artists now
Mhm.
in the Philippines, and they're like promoting all their music, and it's just a lot of great like singers out there. So it's
Gotcha.
yeah.
Mhm.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Do you guys have any like traditional instruments that are native to the Filipino culture?
Yeah, so we have like Harana is one of them.
Mhm.
So we have different styles of guitars. Um, so we have a lot of indigenous styles of musical instruments. I
Mhm.
can't really name them off the top of my head,
Mhm.
or the different types that there are, but you can kind of hear some of them, like especially songs from the past too.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh, but in terms of like like the most widely used instrument, it's usually like guitar, acoustic guitar, electric guitar.
Mm,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
okay. A universal instrument for sure.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I've definitely heard that in the songs that I've been listening to so far.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, yes, they do love the guitar. And I heard something about, I don't know if it's similar to Harana, but like rondalla type of music, or I think is influenced by Spanish cultures in the Philippines. So
hmm
that's something else I was also learning about.
Yeah. So like a lot of like every year in college we'll do like what we call like barrio, and it kind of
Oh
highlights.
yeah.
Yes,
Mm.
yes.
Yeah, so it kind of highlights a lot of our culture, like all like the different dances and the different songs or instruments that we play. It's like every April, so we did it a few years.
Gotcha.
Or like almost a lot of universities with a strong Filipino presence will have one. Yeah,
For real. You were in
Hmm.
a, didn't you guys have a play for that one year when we were in school?
yeah. So
I remember that. I remember that. You were in it. So Vinny is also an actor.
Yes.
He does it all. He does it all.
yeah, I feel like a lot of the music I mentioned I like included in the barrio, or like I try to cover a lot of themes during that time. It actually helped me. Like it helped me study.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I
I was
got
like, yes.
invested, so I had to keep up with my academics, or else.
Wait, Vinny, didn't you wrote that play, didn't you?
Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah,
Come
come on,
on.
Vinny.
Yeah, aren't you sharing? Aren't you sharing that? Right.
I thought so. I was like, you not only were you in it, but you wrote it.
Yeah. I mean, so
Yeah, you did.
But here you go.
yeah, I mean,
Being
so
modest.
every
Hmm.
year, the Filipino Cultural Association or Filipino Club will try to, from fall into spring, we try to like showcase it. We always do like a theme, like based off like a story everyone's familiar with, like Finding Nemo
Hmm.
or Forrest Gump, but put like a Filipino spin to it. But I try to use a lot of my like past experiences, or like try to do like different takes on like Filipino issues in like a new story.
Hmm.
And like had a lot of, I mean, I can't, like, I'm looking back, I'm like, I can't believe we were able to do this, because all of us, no one has any like acting experience per se, or we're not in an art school.
No.
Everyone is studying
Definitely.
for their like medical healthcare business
Yeah.
degree. Yeah.
But we needed an outlet. We
Yeah.
needed an outlet. I wish I had an
Yeah.
Like
outlet.
I can't
Yeah.
believe we were able to like get all of that done and like still like graduate and whatnot.
Pass.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
there was a time
Barely.
past barely. There was a time like I could have, honestly, I could have kept doing it. But
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
every year obviously it's closer and closer to like uh adulting and going into the real world, and you're just like but
Yeah. It
like
gets harder and harder.
but the early years it was
Hmm.
amazing. It was great. And I'm glad to like
Definitely.
highlight like everything we've talked about was like kind of showcased during that time.
Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
I
awesome.
was gonna say, Vinny, I think it was from Barrio, but it was like I don't know if it was a dance that you guys were doing. Um, but it was like with two sticks.
Yeah.
I don't want to call them sticks, but and it's kind of like you guys like beat down on it and then clap
Mhm.
up, and then like someone's in the middle. It kind of reminded me like double dutching, like
Yes.
jump roping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can
Mm.
you talk about
Of
that?
course. Oh, I didn't even realize the connection between that. Yeah, it's called like tinikling, and so it would be
Mm.
like bamboo like kind of parallel to each other, and then you'll do like different steps, and like you would slam the bamboo, like it would be like a progressive beat, but you'll slam it on the ground, and then you'll slam them together, so there'll be two people on either end, and then there'll be
Mm.
dancers kind of going back and forth, making sure obviously they don't get caught in the bamboo. And so that's like very specific to Filipino culture. that type of dance. And nowadays, now I've been looking at a lot of videos, and there's like a lot of modern takes, like incorporating like American dances within it that I found really cool. Like people are like breakdancing at the same time. I can't even imagine doing that.
Yeah.
Like so it's like, yeah, it's definitely similar to double dutch. Like I that's a really great connection. Wow. Yeah.
I always remember that from like every year, and I'm like, oh my god, this looks like double dutching, but it's
Always
like,
very
and
cool.
again, it's like with rhythm, and again, you don't want to get caught, just like double dutching. If you get caught, and I was like, oh no, you messed up. But it was really cool to see.
We should have them
And,
side by side and see like if we can do
Yeah.
both. I don't
yeah,
if it's similar like in a pattern, like if it's easy to like do one versus the other.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes.
All right, ladies. Any other questions you guys have for Vinny?
We covered a lot from a music cultural background perspective, but I know we want to
Yeah.
get into more of the songs.
So I just wanted to talk about how like a lot of the line dancing and the parties I grew up with in the 90s as a child, that kind of carried over into like when I was a teenager and like into adulthood now. And I feel like that's a similar experience to a lot of my friends. And like we wanted to keep that community going. So there were a lot of like our groups like creating dance crews. And that was very like a majority of us were Filipino, but it covered anyone who wanted to dance. And a lot of my musical interests like were born from that. Like it's almost like as we got older, we wanted to have that little community, and it almost became like
Yeah.
outlet. Obviously, after high school or after studying, it almost felt like a fraternity or sorority in a way, like an informal one. And like professionally, you just had a lot of like influence and like recognition over time for those who were able to make it. Like I can think of like Jabberwockies is like the most famous group.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then like a lot of my friends, they were immersed in that, and they still are. And like the group I was in college, they're called Inertia. Like that was yeah, shout out to Inertia. So we were like part of the Filipino Cultural Association. We weren't like our own like its own organization. That's like how
Okay.
close knit dancing or like having a dance crew in Filipino culture came to be. And like a lot of my songs that I listen to now or like my musical taste was because someone danced to it. Like my favorite Prince song is Erotic City because there was an incredible piece to it. So that's how much of an influence like we like not necessarily me, but a lot of my peers created that community and kept it going, which is like really special that I wanted to like give a shout out to.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Now that you,
we remember Inertia.
I was just saying,
Yes.
now that you mentioned that and Jabberwockies, I think about like sometimes I've read and heard like breakdancing, a lot of breakdancing and b-boy culture is in or influence is the influence for Filipino dancing or some Filipino groups,
Oh
shall I
yeah,
say.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can see like different crews and their styles based on their pieces and how like different styles of music were interwoven. If like people were breakdancing in their pieces,
Yeah.
you know, those are usually like the highlights. You know, they're kind of like the star of the main dancer in a way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's great. I mean, to really showcase those different styles.
Gotcha.
That's cool. Well, I mean, I know we talked a lot about music, and we're gonna continue to talk about music. I know you talked about how, especially as a second generation immigrant, or second generation American, how you have the influences from the Philippines, but you also have influences on American culture and Black American culture. Now that you have the second and third generation becoming their own adults, do you have any recommendations on any new artists, up and coming artists, or artists, in our generation that are Filipino. And it could be, artists who have traditional Filipino music, or if it's more so of a fusion, because of how they, grew up in America.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many nowadays. Like, I feel like it's easier to make it in the music industry, or you have more opportunities. There's like many artists now with who are Asian American or Pacific Islander that I've seen more like on a playlist or just like having concerts, which is great. I mean, I'll just touch up on a couple of them. Like we all know Bruno Mars and Olivia
Yeah,
Rodrigo, and like
of
shout out to all of
course.
them, for
Yeah, I didn't know Olivia Rodrigo was Filipino. I
yeah.
did
Oh,
not
she
know that.
is. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
me
just
too.
learned that. I was like, oh, okay, that's what's
Yeah,
up.
and then
Yeah.
NERD, Black Eyed Peas, Nora
Mm-hmm.
Jones too. So shout
Yeah.
out to them
Oh, really?
too. Yeah, she's like half Indian American.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but one song in particular, I mean, I'll touch a couple like Asian American or even Filipino. But there's this song called Kasing Kasing. It's by Juan Carlos and Kyle Ichari. And so they're like singers in the Philippines, but I think Kyle was born in America. But it's a R&B song, but sung in Bisaya or Cebuano. And you don't really hear that. Yeah, you don't hear that. A lot of OPM is Tagalog, or so there's like a recognition for that. So I found that interesting, especially since a lot of my family speaks Bisaya. So they released it like this year, and I think the live version is so much better. Like if you go on YouTube and listen to it, it's great. Like you can see the dynamic. And again, it's like so it means heart. It's like loving someone and then being destroyed or getting your heart broken. And like how can you love that amount again? You know? That's kind of dope.
Ooh,
Yeah.
You
that
know
made me
about that.
cry.
And like obviously
Oh,
you don't
God.
need to know what the lyrics mean. I'm like you don't, if you don't
To
speak, but if
feel.
you hear it,
Yeah.
you can get a sense of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of, I mean, that could have been my chokehold actually.
It didn't have to be. It didn't have to be.
But that was like a runner up for that.
Yeah.
Another one I want to give a shout out to, so Closer, by Sweetie and Her. Like those that song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they're half Filipino too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like disco pop, and we always love that type of sound. And they shout
Yeah.
out to their Filipino heritage in the music video.
Oh,
And it's great, and they're from like the Bay Area. I think there's a
Yeah.
lot of
Yep.
musical influence there, that's very distinctly Filipino. So I'm glad like they were able to have that collaboration, because when I heard that I was like, I hope they collaborate at some point, and then boom, they came out with Closer.
Did
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
They
you
listen.
said something that made me think about something about the Bay Area, not music related, but when we went to the Bay Area, we went to this cookie shop. I think butter pecan cookies. It's Filipino owned, and let me tell you, they definitely have the best cookies. I ain't never had a cookie like that.
Recommendation.
Yeah, that
Wow.
was. I was like, yeah, I don't know what y'all motherfucking doing with these cookies. But yeah, you just made me think about that when you said the Bay
Oh,
Area.
it's so cool. I'm gonna be there in a few months. I'm gonna check it out then. Let me know.
Go get those
Oh,
cookies.
that's
Send
cool.
me something.
Okay, I will. I will definitely do that. Yes. Remind me, okay?
Yes. Oh,
Give me your orders.
yes.
I'll give like a couple.
I like that Closer song though. It sounds really, really
Mm-hmm.
good. And it does remind me of like a couple of the Pinoy pop songs that I've heard. I'm like, oh, okay, look at them. They paying homage.
Another one I wanted to give a shout out to. It's by an artist called Mitski. She's pretty big right now, like on TikTok and stuff. She has like this like her well-known song right now. It's like, I forget what it's called, but it's like My Love Is All Mine or something like that.
Mm.
But I wanted to give a shout out to like specifically her song "Your Best American Girl." Yeah, so that song is, if you look at the music video and her lyrics, it's very distinctly like Asian American or like Asian American experience. Like she in the video, she's like attracted to this white guy, and she's trying to get his attention. And he like rejects her. And there's almost like the way it's framed, it's like because of who she is in a way. But in like the lyrics, like I think after hearing this lyric, I'm like, yeah, that kind of explains like the whole assimilation as Asian Americans. Like she says, your mother wouldn't approve of how my mother raised me, but I do. I think I do. And it's almost like the different cultural traditions you like were brought up with. Like as a kid, sometimes you want to try to fit in with the crowd, and you'll like reject
Yeah.
like
Right.
your heritage in a way, whether it's like food or like the values that you share. And then as you grow up, like recognizing and embracing that culture over time. And then later in the song, she says, your mother wouldn't approve of how my mother raised me, but I do. I finally do. So like at some point, like you recognize like how much your like parents like upbringing like kind of was more of like a positive, and embracing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she goes into
Because
this
when you
crazy riff
Hindsight.
afterwards.
I was gonna say because I would imagine like when you're coming into America, everybody's teasing you and telling you that's weird what you're doing and what you're eating. You know, us as kids, I can imagine and remember and see like, oh, this smells funny and that you know,
Yeah.
teasing
Accents
kids,
and all
yeah,
that. You just
teasing kids,
try to hide
Yeah.
it.
and then you come to
Name.
be like, you know what, I'm proud of my heritage. I'm proud of, I don't care if they think you know it's funky or I don't. You know, what I do is weird. I don't care. I like what I do. I accept what I do.
Yeah, I really like.
And now look at everybody now trying to hop on the train
Hop
like
on
they
the wave,
weren't the
yes.
ones bullying people when they were
Right.
younger.
Right.
Yeah, I never really heard that in a song, especially a well-known song like that. So it was refreshing to like kind of hear, or like it was like one of
Yeah.
those songs that like made an impact, especially in the Asian American community. I feel.
Nice.
that.
Definitely check it out.
Are there any honorable mentions, as we always say?
Yeah, I mean, oh, I can keep going. Let me see. Okay, I want to give two. Okay, so I want to shout out to Japanese Breakfast and their song Paprika. They're like a Philly-based band. Shout out to Philly.
Okay, Philly.
And singer Michelle Genre, she made like a book, Crying in H Mark, that is pretty like a memoir. But the song,
I love that
I
name.
know, and it's like her upbringing as a Korean American, and
Yeah, that's
this
cool.
song is like the first song of the album, and it's just so euphoric and so joyful, and the message is very like I really enjoy the message because it's like the if as an artist or if you create art, like seeing everyone's expression and enjoying like how you're able to share your art with the rest of the world, and like experience that feeling for yourself and getting excited for it. And I thought it was like a really interesting like message, and it sounds like that too. Like there's like a celebration.
Yeah.
And so every time I listen to it, I feel ecstatic.
I was listening to Paprika this morning and I was like, I like this. I like this.
That little like I heard it live, and the first time hearing for it, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a good day.
It didn't make me feel like that.
That's
And
cool.
like if you're ever like having artistic outlets, like or you sing or you write or you paint. It's like a song to remind you of like sharing it with the world and like why you do it and like how it makes you feel.
Mm,
So I like the words that she says on it.
Nice.
nice. It's beautiful.
And then lastly, I need to shout out K-pop.
Hey,
Of
I have
course.
to shout out K-pop. I like it's kind of sad too because I always kept it in about how much I like love K-pop or
Enjoy.
enjoy listening to K-pop.
Yeah.
Like I'll have to like I don't want to take up too much time, but like I don't understand Tagalog or Bisaya unfortunately. So
Hmm.
I think that's why a lot of my music like a lot of my musical taste is like just like
Hmm.
what is like sonically interesting or the instrumentation
Mm.
Mm,
or like
mhm.
the way people sing like and I can like visualize that. So K-pop was great because it was incredibly catchy and they covered a lot of different genres and I can listen to it
Yeah.
while I was studying college like 2 a.m. and not have to like it wasn't like affecting my studying in any way. But
That's a good point because I definitely stopped and be like,
mhm,
I was singing the lyrics to a song that I should have been,
yeah.
paying attention to PNT stuff.
Hmm. So like it got me through college. I'll admit.
hey.
It'd be like that.
And there's like a
Hmm.
lot of like nowadays like K-pop is worldwide. It's like global and
Yeah.
stuff. Um,
Mhm.
It
it's
is
like
huge.
huge. It's really
Yeah.
intense. But I just wanted to shout out. There's this song called like there's this band called Hokyo. If I'm saying that
Hmm.
correctly, it's like the lead singer's name, but I think reversed.
Mm.
Mm.
And there's this song called Tokyo Inn, and like for me again, I like hearing a song and like being like teleported to a world, and like every time I hear
Hmm.
that song, I think like I'm like just having a good time like in like a bar or dance club and just like rocking it out, or like it's like the 90s and there's no phones around and I'm like just having a good time with friends and we're like
Yeah.
just like dancing and having a ball. So like um again like if I don't know what the like I don't know always the lyrics to a lot of the songs I listen to, but the,
Hmm.
I still like it and it's just my musical taste. Um and that kind of shit.
You
I
like how
think
it
that's a
makes you
lot of
feel.
Yeah,
people.
the way it makes me feel.
Yeah.
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 I think a lot of people they don't know the lyrics to a lot of even their favorite
Mm-hmm.
songs. Like but they just know they like the melody, they like the way, this part sounds, the
Mhm.
bridge, the hook, the chorus,
Right.
like that it
Mhm.
just sounds so good to them. It feels good to them. So yeah, I feel you. Like and you don't have to know the words really. I mean, sometimes it's good to know so you know what you're singing about.
Right, right. Like, 'cause, like,
Yeah.
thinking back on that, like, my favorite
Yeah.
song is Limb by Limb, and if you listen to those lyrics, like,
Mm.
I shouldn't be listening to
You like
that
what?
song
Yeah.
as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel you on that. But yeah. Mm. I love that. This is okay. We're learning a lot.
Mhm.
Yes.
And again, this is not to say that you need to know everything or you know everything about your culture. We're not trying to quiz you on anything. We just want to learn more. We just want to know more. Is there anything
Absolutely.
like you see or you think about the future of Filipino music and like, can it do what K-pop has done, like as far as like reaching the masses and becoming international? What are you thinking?
I hope so. Uh, K-pop is like a juggernaut, like it's like even beyond like they have like their own like system to promote like whether it's the music, but the food, the culture, even the television and movies. Um,
Hmm.
Mhm.
like right now there's like hundreds of artists, like both Asian American and Filipino, that are up and coming. Like I looked at the
Hmm.
Spotify AAPI playlist, I didn't recognize like a single artist.
Yeah.
And so that's like a good sign
Ooh,
to
Welcome to my
That's a
world.
that's a
good
good
thing.
sign.
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
good
that's a good
sign.
thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
So like
yeah,
everyone's getting their name out, kind of
yeah.
promoting, and like being a part of a lot of those spaces, whether it's like Coachella, or like promoting their songs on like even talk shows and stuff.
Right.
So
I can imagine, like, yeah, if I was Filipino and I just saw Freddie Aguilar, and I'm like, wait a minute, my mama used to listen to that. What we still
Right.
ain't there other people? Yeah, yeah,
but yeah, you got a lot
um,
of, you got Sweetie, you got her, you got Bruno Mars.
yeah,
And, you know,
Oh yeah, I be forgetting about Bruno too.
yeah. Uh-huh.
he's number one.
Like, forget my Bruno.
I know, right? Literally.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't need to shout out him. He already has enough. It's all good.
Right.
He's good.
Yeah, you got
He's doing well.
He has more
He's
than
like
enough fame
bartending
and
in Hawaii right
recognition.
now.
Dang. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to share, Vinny, or you feel like you need to get off your chest, as we always ask here?
Ooh. I mean, I just want to give a shout out to a lot of like the major Black artists and from like you can kind of see how much like we just talked about it, how much influence we had. Like it obviously it's like American, but it's very
Right.
distinctly like African American or Black voices, or even the dancing and how much that like influenced across the ocean, and how much
Yeah.
Filipinos embrace or were embrace that culture, or like use that music and integrate it into our own culture, whether it's like different parties and stuff. I didn't talk
Love
about like karaoke too.
Go ahead.
That's like like that's a whole nother beast that I'm sure someone else
Look how I'ma
could
smile.
talk about. Like
They don't play. You think I don't play? Nah.
I don't have the
Vinny,
voice.
Vinny put me on.
We
Vinny, stop. He be downplaying it, y'all.
Oh, you want to know? We be like, oh, I don't even sing like that or something like that, and then they go up and
Blow
it's a
you
demo
away.
or something. Yeah.
yeah.
Vinny, what is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you guys that. Oh no. Okay, so maybe she doesn't know. Okay, so
I was like, is this a friendship test?
Let's great.
I sang my go-to a year ago, and now I've replaced it. It was like "Loving You" by Minnie Riperton.
Oh,
Oh,
But that's like another song.
Gosh, that's a
Yes.
hard one,
I
Vinny.
love hard
God
songs.
so
dang.
Vinny can sing. That's all. That's all I'm hearing. Vinny can sing.
And then I sang it out loud when like in front of everyone, like people that I'm not familiar with, and then that's where you start to pay attention to the lyrics, and you're just like, oh. There's some lyrics that are like, ooh, okay. But that used to be my song. But now my song go-to is Shaka Khan, "Through the Fire."
Oh, okay. So that's what I was thinking when you
Yeah,
asked me. But I was thinking of like your go-to duet. I wasn't thinking of like a solo. But yeah, when you asked that, I was like, oh well, probably "Through the Fire." But I sang that with him. I was thinking of a song that you would sing by yourself. Sorry.
No, I would probably sing
Okay.
that by myself too. You know, it has those
Yeah.
octaves that
Okay.
I love singing or try to sing. Try to read.
Yeah.
That song is also hard.
Yeah.
That song is
Yeah.
hard as hell.
So Vinny can
love
sing.
Through the
that was I
Fire.
just love karaoke.
No, I don't hear.
We
I
should
love Through the
one
Fire.
day, you know.
Hey,
Right?
Hey.
Right? Yeah, like
you know that ain't nothing for Alma.
Right.
Just a piece of cake. She
Oh.
was telling us that you brought her to a place in North Jersey, Edgewater.
Edgewater. It's called
and
Volume
Yeah.
Up.
Volume
Yeah,
Up.
so
I'm
you
going
can
back
bring
there.
food, drinks. You can be there until 4 a.m. singing karaoke.
What?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
night for the
That is.
millennials.
And then
It really was.
you can just hang out and sing your heart out, and they score you too.
Shut up.
I don't like that.
Who got the highest score, Vinny? Who got the highest score?
We got a few 99s. We got a few 99s. Yeah.
99.
No, it was me.
Yeah.
It was me. That's why I asked.
What was your song?
Yeah, we got a few 99. He did not.
You don't remember? I got a high score.
He didn't say Alma.
He said you don't remember.
I got 98.
He said I don't recall.
I know our song.
I
I
recall.
know Through the Fire. We got 96, and that was like one of the first
Yes.
songs. And I was just like, yes, I'll take that. I'll take an A.
Okay.
Right, it's A.
I need to see what the scoring system is like.
That's Filipino too.
Oh my
scoring.
gosh.
So we have
Really?
yeah, we have karaoke systems. It's called Magic Mike, and every single song they'll score you. So
Mm.
so I grew
Wow.
up and I was always waiting for the
Serious.
score after I sang.
Yeah, you weren't even like elated that that is over. You're like, let's go. Just looking at
Listen,
the scoreboard.
And
Like,
holding hands.
when we finished singing Shaka Khan, he like grabbed my hand like they would do on American Idol when they were waiting to find out who was getting eliminated, and he was like holding the mic to his chest and holding my hand like, let's see what our score is. I'm like, Vinny, I was like, what?
Meanwhile, we
this is
just be like
serious.
tired after that.
Right.
Feeling like Shaka.
let's go take the mic next.
After trying to be Shaka Khan, we just tired.
Right.
After that,
Who's
We like,
next?
no, we need to know, did we sing like Shaka?
Yeah.
I can't imagine
basically.
getting like a 75 after that. Oh my, I'd be done.
He's like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go home.
You're like, no way, it's time to go. You're like, give me the water, drop the alcohol, give me the water. My
Right.
throat's dry.
To hydrate.
I do that.
It's a great component to have. I love that part. Like,
Oh my gosh, that
That's so
sounds like a
cool.
lot of
Right,
fun. Yeah, we definitely
Yeah.
gotta go up there and see what that's
yeah,
like.
so that was my only other
Yes.
mention. It's like karaoke and how much we enjoy karaoke as well. We have like a Mount Rushmore of karaoke, like the songs that you have to like sing. Like I feel like it's like Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey,
I was gonna say
Yeah.
the big ballads.
yeah, the big ballads.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want
Yeah.
to say Luther Vandross, but
Mm,
yeah.
Damn.
And then like maybe Adele, but Whitney Houston, Mariah
So
Carey. It's like yeah, those are the go-to.
So basically, if you can sing like any of those songs, get a 99, then that means like, oh yeah, you can sing. You can really, you can make
Exactly,
a career
like-
out of this. Is that what you're telling us?
In karaoke competitions, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or like,
I
you-
believe
Okay.
you know, you'll see some videos they'll like show off, and like they're like
Mhm.
humble about it. But you know they
Mhm.
got the
Mhm.
vocals. They got.
Mhm.
They can.
I was gonna say, now that I think about it, I feel like her is like that.
Mhm.
She was very little, like low key, humble, especially because she came out when she was younger and she was singing,
Yeah.
the big ballads. And then after a while, she's like, "Yeah, I got this." Like,
Yeah, she's like,
now,
no, I'm a her.
I'm her.
100%. She even
Mhm.
said it herself. Like she grew up with karaoke, getting those 99s, maybe even 100. You know, I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
Mm-mm-mm.
yeah. Have you ever gotten a 100?
No, I don't know if the algorithm could put that one. I don't know if there's space for it.
One wrong key and that's it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is the scoring based off of? Like,
So like the actual song, don't quote me on this, but the actual song, there's like a certain like tone you have to hit
Mm.
throughout that's consistent with the song itself, and so if you're off,
Mhm.
they'll probably deduct points.
Can't be
Mm.
changing keys.
Yeah, I mean like you
Basically.
could technically just like no, like I think the systems are better so that you have to say the lyrics, but you can probably hum it.
Mhm.
And if
Oh.
you're hitting it in the right way, you can probably have a good score.
Yeah.
But if you want to,
Mm.
That wouldn't even be fair because it's
In the system.
karaoke. The lyrics are
Yeah.
right there.
yeah,
You gotta open
right.
your mouth and sing.
Right.
Right.
if you want to test it out and come early and like practice, try different variations, sing Happy Birthday, to get
I
the
warm
100
up.
if you
I
want
need my-
to.
I need a warm. What's your warm up song though? Like, is there a song where you're like, okay, before I do Through the Fire, I need to start off with this to kind of like get my vocals right.
I don't know because we started with that song. I go
See,
hard.
that's what I'm talking about.
They can sing it. You gotta go when the vocals are gonna be the strongest. That's at the
Yes,
beginning of the
yes,
night.
that's true.
'Cause after all that yelling,
I
Done.
knew. I was like, I'm done after this song.
That's
Well,
why
it
you
sound
need
like
enough
Faith
people
Evans.
in the room. We'd be like, all right, we need like 20 more people to go through before I come up next.
Mhm.
It's like
Oh
it's like
my
pass the
gosh.
mic, huh? You're like,
Right.
"Yeah."
Well,
Mhm.
because when I took Amma for the first time, so like I told her, I was like, so you can tell when it's someone's first time in these like karaoke spots because they're like their head is like buried in like the book and like looking for all the different songs. Like, let's play this, and then
that's a big ass
It's,
book, y'all.
the big
I'm
like
sure. That's good.
Yeah, almost every
That's
song is
really
there.
good.
Even like the songs now.
Artistic.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
love
love
that.
that.
I love
Every
that.
song you can
Because
think of, they have.
how many times you go to a karaoke place and you put in a song that you know you want to sing or can sing, and they be like, we ain't got
It's
it.
not there. Nope.
We got it.
Nope.
You be like,
We got
it's a
connected for
karaoke
YouTube.
joint.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would say out of
Mhm.
every like all the other places in terms of catalog, they have the most recent updated catalog I've ever seen. Like they probably
I
have
love that.
more
And
songs
It's
from
cool.
like March of this year now.
dang,
They had
Wow.
Cowboy Carter songs in there.
Shut
They
They had
did.
Texas
up.
Hold'em,
Shut
yeah.
up.
Wow.
Mhm.
And does
Mhm.
is the instrumental like right on, like spot on, or is it that like little like
It-
kind of like goofy?
it's a
You
little
know
of
how it's like
both.
this is
Like
not
the
the
keyboard.
yes.
With like the paint animations.
Well, no, just like the way that it sounds. You know how like it's not the exact instrumental
It's like the
of the song,
karaoke
but it's like
version.
the the
Yeah,
karaoke
like the
version of
new
it.
songs
Kids vibe.
now are pretty much the instrumental of the actual song. Yeah. Or like there'll
Nice.
be two versions, and then if there's
Hmm.
like music video version, then that's the because they'll
Mhm.
show the whole music video, and then the instrumental of the actual song will also play.
Oh, this
Mhm.
legit. Volume Up is legit. They not
No,
playing. They
it's
said, "Oh
legit,
no,
y'all.
we gonna give
Yeah.
y'all the exact. This ain't no karaoke, YouTube. This is no copywritten. We got the license.
And you can
Right.
have like 50 people in one room, you know. Yeah.
Dang, my
Or you
God.
can have just like just a couple or four people in a small room.
I just got an idea, but I'm gonna take that off air.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, here we go.
Let me mark this clip.
Right. Here we go.
Jesus.
I just got an idea.
But that sounds like a lot of fun. All of what you've been discussing, from the dancing to the karaoke to all the different music and musical influences.
Mhm.
Thank you, Vinny. Is there anything else? I just want to make sure we let you get it all off your chest, because I know sometimes even I will be like, "Dang, I forgot to say X, Y, Z."
No, I think we covered it all. Like
Okay.
I never really talked about my it's kind of interesting to talk about your life this way. Because I didn't really think it was that interesting or special or influential. So it was nice to kind of share it in this platform. And realizing like, oh, this is pretty like distinct or interesting, like the musical influence or like like what it means to be like a Filipino American, or like growing up, what that entailed on the East Coast, and seeing if people had similar experiences or sharing that. Like it was kind of refreshing to kind of look back on. So I appreciated that.
Yeah,
No
we all have
problem.
a story to share.
That's right.
Everybody's special.
Thank you so much for being the
Yes.
first
Yes.
to be on this series and saying yes, because I know it's not always like an easy thing, and you feel like you got to carry your culture on you, and like, I got to represent right. Like, no
Mhm.
pressure. Like, you
Yeah.
gave us a lot of
You did a
good
great
stuff. You
job.
did a great job.
We learned a
So,
lot too.
yeah, I did. And
Yeah.
even like your suggestions and stuff like that. Thank you for that. Thank you for like giving us a piece of you
Mhm.
and giving us a piece of
Mhm.
your
Yeah.
culture. And like, this is what my goal was, even with creating this podcast, because I love music that much. I love to learn about different cultures through food, through music, through, other people's experiences. And I wanted to learn more about the different genres and stuff like that,
Mhm.
just because like, I just want to see like, what does it sound like to be in this country, or what does it feel like to grow up like this and grow up with this music or this person, because I know how impactful Anita Baker is to me, or Mary J. Blige is to me. And so I want to know
Mhm.
who that is for other people. So
Mhm.
thank you for giving us a piece of that. And we all hope that you guys enjoyed this hook. Like, this is something
Yes.
new for us. We didn't want to, we have our PC police here. So we didn't want to do the wrong thing, give our wrong takes, and like
Yeah.
just
Say anything crazy.
Period.
willy
Yeah.
nilly like giving songs that people are like, what the heck? They don't know nothing about. Like, what he doing?
Yeah.
So we,
no.
we didn't want
Go
to do it
Go
wrong.
to a source.
Yes, so we
Mhm.
wanted
Go
to
to a source.
choose somebody who we feel like would be confident and comfortable enough sharing their experiences, and we do really appreciate you coming on, Vinny. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, doctor.
Yeah.
You did
Thank
that.
you. Thank you for
Yes, you
having
did
me.
that.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
Mhm.
Saint
Invited
Science is in the
again.
house,
course.
as always.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into this outro. Ladies, who's going first?
I can go. So, my segment is The Drop. I talk about any new music, new albums, any new shows, festivals. And because we're focusing on AAPI, Heritage Month, I wanted to look up like certain music events that was going on in the area. And I suggest everyone to do the same since we still have about like 2-3 weeks left of May. And I saw something really interesting. There is an AAPI Jazz Collective that's in the East Coast. Yes. And I looked it up. It's a diverse group of Asian American and Pacific Islander identifying jazz musicians and artists. It says that the ensemble specializes in performing classic repertoire from a wide array of Asian cultures, classic, popular, and folk music from China, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, Thailand, the Philippines, and other Asian cultures reimagined with a jazz context. So I thought that was really cool because, we all love jazz. And of course, talking about the Asian culture and the different music, I thought it was really cool to hear something that ties both jazz and the many Asian cultures together. They said their mission is to celebrate and connect with their respective cultures through music and storytelling. Through a musical lens, they introduce AAPI culture and talent to audiences who are unfamiliar with their culture. So there are a couple events that's going on throughout May, of course. Most of them are either in New Jersey or in New York. So there's one on May 24th in Short Hills in New Jersey. It's the AAPI Jazz Collective Outdoor Concert, which I thought was pretty cool. Then the next day on May 25th, there's a Garden Jazz Brunch in New York in the East Village. And then on May 31st, there's another AAPI Jazz Collective that's happening in Brooklyn at the Red Pavilion. So if you love jazz, if you obviously want to know more about the Asian culture and their music, especially traditional, and how they tie it to jazz music, I thought it'll be really cool to introduce that. But, of course, just being in this month, I'm sure there's many other events that's going on in your area if you're not on the East Coast. So
Yes.
definitely check it out.
I'm sure like the government websites like of your city, states and stuff, they usually put those up there, like the events, major events, especially with the different awareness months. And like, for instance, it's mental health awareness month as well. So like, I'm sure they have that as well. Are all these like free or you have to like buy tickets, do you know?
One of them you have to buy tickets to. I believe the outdoor concert though is free.
Oh, nice. That's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
This episode drops on the 24th. So yeah, that might be something to do. Well, we'll see.
Hey, y'all in the area?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
Yeah.
talking about myself, but yeah.
I know,
yeah.
I know.
I would love to do that, but yeah. Okay, Alma, what's going on? Slept on Saturday. What we missing out on?
Yeah, so our Slept on Saturday actually checks two boxes. One, it was a submission from Dr. Mecca. Thank you. For your Slept on Saturday submission, you emailed. You know how I feel about email. Really appreciate that. But also this artist, it's a American artist, but had the most success in Japan. And their album was only released in Japan, so I thought that was a good way to kind of tie it into both. So the name of the song is called "I Wish You Loved Me" by Tanisha Kelly. So I don't know if that, I'm not seeing any movement, so I'm assuming you guys never heard of this song or the artist, but it was released as a debut single from her first album, The Chronicles of TK, in 2007. It was written by Rico Love and produced by Rico Love and the Corner Boys. So I know everybody's familiar with Rico, but the Corner Boys, they produced for like B5, so they produced that All I Do song. And then they also produced for Patti LaBelle a song called New Day. So they have a few notable production credits here and there. And the song actually samples Love, Need, and Want You by Patti LaBelle as well, which you can definitely, as soon as she starts singing and you hear, you're like, oh yeah, you know exactly what that is. And when I first heard this song, because I hadn't heard it before Nneka sent it, it really brought me back to the early 2000s. And it's like that signature sound of the time. So y'all remember that song? I think it was called "Walk Away" by Paula Dionda, or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
That's what this song reminds me of. Is that type of sound?
Mm.
It's that like 106 in Park kind of crossover early
Mhm.
2000s song. That's what this song reminds me of. And I was looking up more information about it, and I realized, you know, that social media now, like, I feel like really put traditional blogging kind of on the back end. Like, people still blog, but I feel like musicians used to really actively blog back in the day before Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. They would actually like have like pages, like websites dedicated to telling us like kind of what's been going on or thoughts and
Mhm.
feelings that they've been having. So anyway, I found something that was archived on Tanisha's live journal, and it was when this song and this video dropped. And she says, quote, "Just a girl who came from nothing trying to make her way. I come from a very poverty stricken home and struggled most of my life. I caught a break when I was 14 just to come to LA and struggle in a different way. I was now in another world at 14 with no family or friends. Even though it was rough, I found a way to make it work because I never wanted something so bad. Started working
Mhm.
with different producers that I thought fit the criteria of what I was searching for. Producers such as Brian Michael Cox, Justice League, The Corner Boys, Robin Thicke, co-stars, and so many more. Now that I'm almost there, so close, I swear I can taste it. I realize that in the end, your dreams do come true if you don't give up on them, no matter how hard it gets. Some things are worth sacrificing all you have." So this was when she just released this first album and single, and she was just really excited, and she just seemed like it was like there was like an innocence behind it, and you know it was her first project to drop, but it did release in Japan, physical copies and digital copies, and that's where she saw the most of her success. She's released some more music over the years here and there, but this was her biggest hit for sure. So thanks, Nneka, for this week's Slept on Saturday. I Wish You Loved Me by Tanisha Kelly.
Awesome. I can't wait to hear it.
Awesome.
Thank you, Nneka. Nneka, always giving us some good suggestions.
Yes.
All right. Well, we hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, follow us on all the things. We have Twitter, and we're on X now, Instagram, Facebook, Mad Music Podcast. You know, email us madmusicpodcast@gmail.com. Vinny, thank you again.
Yes.
Thank you. Take the time out on a
Yes.
Saturday. Like, you know, we appreciate you. And being on time and prepared and all the
Amen.
things, and like,
Mhm.
you know, giving us as much as you got, you know. So we appreciate that, and we hope that, you know, we did you justice, and vice versa. Like, we hope that you felt comfortable enough to do all of this, and
Yeah.
who knows,
Yeah.
maybe come back and talk about like b-boy music and breakdancing of the 80s and stuff. You got
Disco.
something? Yeah, disco.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You gonna have something to say then?
I had a
So-
lot of fun. You
Yes.
guys pushed me into the dance floor. The beginning.
Oh my gosh.
I learned my steps. I figured out the dodo of this
Yes.
podcast.
Yes, that's what we're all about here. Pushing you onto the dance floor,
That's what
okay?
it's all about.
Listen. Yes, I love that. So tune in again every Friday. Try to bang out an episode for y'all. We got some cool stuff coming up. We have another second part to this series, the AAPI series, and we hope that you guys will enjoy. And we have some fun stuff coming up as well in the next couple of weeks. So we hope you guys like enjoy the series. I enjoy doing these series. Follow us again on all the things. Love you guys. Have a safe week.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.